So anyway, huh?
I'm good right here.
Well, no, you can be right here. Yeah.
Okay.
This is gonna be your stage.
Okay.
Yeah, just gonna go pass these some chairs.
Okay.
Yeah. So Thursday morning breakfast. We're here every Thursday morning because we're trying to be the bridge between the good that goes on in the city and those that need that good to be done in their lives, which is a lot. A lot of people out here doing a lot of good work, but for whatever reason, that good work doesn't always make it to the people that need it most. So we try to be the bridge in between the two, and Thursday morning breakfast is one of the ways that we do that. April and May are dedicated to the safety and protection of children. And we've been focusing on that in a number of ways. And this morning, we want to talk about more solutions that are already happening in the community with a brother that I've known for at least, 3, 4, 5 years. It's been a minute. Yeah, it's been a minute. Who's been doing this work. So we want to bring up Brother Chancellor Roberson. He's going to give us more information about what he does, how he does it, and how he can help you move your child forward with the work that he's been doing in the community for X number of years, which he'll let us know. So Brother Chance, you can come on up here, do your thing, brother. Keep it, just, it's you talking to your people about what you do. It ain't deep at all. And then I always have questions because I'm that kind of brother, and then we'll just go from there.
Sure.
All right, cool. All right. No problem.
Good.
You good right there.
All right. So first of all, good morning, everybody. I want to first of all thank Brother Tamani for the work that he's doing, and just for staying in collaboration with me over the years. We came from a lot of different angles in the community, from campaigns to frontline community protection, and different things of that nature. So I just appreciate the work that you're doing to keep me locked in.
Yes, sir.
A little bit about what I do. I consider myself a community analyst. If I may say, I like to take that role because I feel like going into communities, we have to make sure that we look at everything that's causing an issue in those communities. Mm-hmm. We have to address, of course, child safety. We have to address the parents. We have to address the environment. We have to address the businesses that are in those communities. Yes, all these things play a role in what we can actually accomplish in those communities. And if you don't think so, look at some of the communities where everything is working great, everything's working well, everybody's on the same page. You have people that are moving to these communities because they want their children to survive and they want their children to thrive. So I would like to make that safe communities thing something that we could do in our communities. We can take all of us putting in our work and our effort. Yep. As far as child safety, I come from the background of emergency mental health. So I take a therapeutic approach to everything that I'm doing in the community. And I think that's important because we don't know what a person or individual that we come into contact with has gone through. Mm-hmm. And we can't assume that because they're a child, that maybe they haven't gone through what we've gone through. Some of these kids are going through some horrible situations, whether they're in foster care, whether they have a lack of parental guidance at home, whether they're being bullied, whether they're having mental health issues. Yeah. There's just not enough people that are engaged and aware to address all the situations and problems and issues that we have going on in our communities and in our schools. Yeah. And so the more people that we can get mentally aware, mm-hmm. the more people that we can get community aware, then the more reach that we can have and the more people that we can touch. So just a little bit about what I'm doing right now. I'm working in HISD with a mentoring program as well as being a behavior specialist. Also mentoring in the community with an organization called Mentoring Mighty Minds. Okay. Also working with a group called Make a Way. And what the Make a Way Network is doing is we're trying to create jobs for youngsters. Okay. What is this for the youngsters? From 7 to 25. Okay. And I'm saying that because I remember a time period where, they used to tell us that, idle mind is the devil workshop. That's right. So my goal is to try to find a way to keep them as busy as possible. That's right. Keep them engaged in the community. If they're interested in a certain type of profession, I don't care whether it's basketball, sports, entertainment, art, whatever it is, mm-hmm. I'm trying to find an avenue or a way to get them involved in that early. Yes, sir. In some type of apprenticeship program, even if it's just volunteering, where they can get the experience. That's right. And start moving forward in what they want to do in life and stop focusing on these distractions. Because definitely believe that social media, is a distraction.
100%. On purpose.
The mainstream music industry is a distraction.
Yes, sir.
And it's really more of a guide to guide you in the wrong direction. Because it's major benefit for the system for you to be in the wrong direction.
That's right.
So,
and there's money in that misdirection.
Most definitely,
Yes,
money
sir.
in misdirection. And believe it or not, it's big money in you going to prison or you dying before you get successful.
That's right.
So I want to make it beneficial and profitable for us to be doing the right things as well. So I'm always looking for community partners, even community individuals that want to be locked in with what's really going on and want to be a part of the solution. I'm looking for you. I'm ready for you. You can meet me in a lot of different places, including this breakfast here on Thursdays. But I'm also in the community. You can reach out to me via social media, whether it be Facebook, whether it be Mentoring Mighty Minds website. I also work with an organization called Family Guidance in Texas, where I'm a case manager.
Okay.
And we work with kids directly, kids and families directly that are impacted by mental health or by lived experience, which is, I'm gonna say lived experience, but I'm saying trauma. They've gone through some type of trauma with the parents being locked up or they've been locked up themselves. So I'm dealing with most of the at-risk kids that's coming back into the school system.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay. And what got you on this path to working with young people?
So when I first came home, I came home from college in 2010, and I ended up working in emergency psych for the University of Texas Health Science Center.
Okay. Was that your major in school?
My major in school was behavior science.
Okay.
So yes, it was a version of my major. We did a lot of studying on mind and behavior, but my real interest in this was because both of my grandparents had dementia and Alzheimer's.
Oh, okay.
So it caused me to have a conscious understanding of the mind at an early age.
Yes, sir.
So when I came home from college and I started working in emergency psych, I had the opportunity of working on a few jail units, adult jail competency units. People were coming to stand trial and seeing if they were competent enough to stand trial.
Okay.
And also juvenile jail diversion units. So we had youth that was supposed to be locked up because the juvenile facilities were so packed.
Yeah.
They were housing them in psychiatric hospitals.
Wow.
You know, they was going to school in the hospital, they was living there, you know.
Okay.
So
was that helpful toward their development and the help that they could utilize, I guess?
So while they were there, I feel like it was helpful.
Yeah.
But at the time, there was no programs set up to continue that
there was
care
no intention on that.
once they came out of it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right.
I got
So when they came out of those systems, there was nothing in the community to keep them grounded. So most of the time, repeated the same.
They drift back.
Right.
Yeah.
So you'd be like, you get out this day, you're gonna see you in a couple of months.
Right.
Because that's just how the system
Damn near
goes.
guaranteed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The money gonna keep rolling in.
Yes,
it's
sir.
not gonna keep you rolling in.
That's right.
So I think that working in a lot of different settings. I worked in emergency psych. I also worked in residential treatment centers, foster care, different things of that nature. So depending on the trauma that they've gone through, you got to have a therapeutic approach because they need to get that out, right? So some kind of way, whether it's painting, whether it's art, whether it's singing, whether it's writing, we got to figure out what comes at an ease to them to be able to express the traumas that they've gone through.
How do you go about that?
Conversations.
Okay.
Those conversations lead to assessments.
Okay.
And I try to make it as natural as possible. Having communication and having rapport with the youth is a major thing right now for the work that we're doing, because if you can't hear them, you can't help them.
Right.
And we might think sometimes as adults that we know all the answers, but sometimes, you know, a child can say something to you and it'll remind you that it's a child, but we're not as far removed from each other as we think that we are.
Okay.
So to stay aware is to stay connected with the youth, and the youth need to stay connected to us as adults.
Right.
Because they need what we have to survive, to get to our age.
That's right, because they don't know.
Otherwise, the system's going to take them out.
Right.
And it's set up for them to get that.
By design.
For sure.
Yes,
For
sir.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And do the kids, youth, is there a proper term that you prefer as far as kids, youth, young people?
I typically try not to use the kid word, you know, because a kid is
The baby goat?
a baby goat.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
So the youth.
If you want to call them a kid, then you can't get mad at them acting like an animal. Right.
Amen. All
So
right.
it's about the words that we use. So I try to say the youth are, maybe our younger generation, because to me they really just representations of us.
Sure. Yeah.
So they're representations of the lack of what we do.
Okay, so I'm gonna say the youth.
For sure.
Do the youth, when you're talking to them, trying to find out what could help them get through the stress, the trauma, whatever, do they always know, or do they discover something within themselves, like, oh, painting helps me kind of thing, and they didn't even know that?
Well, believe it or not, this younger generation, they're more open to mental health than we were.
Okay.
Because we came up in stigmas and taboos
100%. Yeah.
the straitjacket era.
Yeah.
That's when I first thought about psychiatric help. All I thought about was movies, straitjackets, and extreme psychiatric situations.
Gotcha.
When the real mental health is day to day.
Okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Day to day, are you okay? Is somebody checking on you? And if you're not okay, do you have an outlet to not be okay? Do you have a safe space to not be okay until you can be okay again? That's mental health.
Okay.
That's daily mental health.
Right.
And people avoid that for so long until it piles up and you have an episode, you
Right.
have a breakdown.
You snap.
The one thing I saw about being in mental health is I saw everybody in there, from homeless people to doctors.
The doctors.
It's a wide span of people affected by mental health.
Yeah.
They don't have no preference on who you are.
Yeah, it don't discriminate.
No,
Yeah,
not at
and
all.
if you think about how you just described it, I can't think of any human on this planet who doesn't need what you just described, because everybody needs somebody to talk to.
For sure.
Because everybody's always going through something.
For sure.
Yeah. And what you just said is a perfect segue to my next question, because the title of today's speaking engagement is Erasing the Stigma of Mental Health in the Black Community. So I'm assuming that stigma exists because of what you just said, television,
Exactly.
and the lack of understanding of what mental health really is.
Exactly.
Okay, and how do we get beyond that, both for the youth and for the adults?
I believe it starts with education.
Okay.
So we have to be open to being re-educated on what mental health is.
Okay.
And we have to unlearn and relearn. I say that a lot because we learn a lot of things coming up in survival mode that we have to get rid of so that we can actually live a good life.
Okay.
We got to stop surviving and we got to start living.
Yeah.
And to live a successful and positive life, you got to have mental outlets.
Sure.
You got to have people to talk to. And erasing that stigma comes with engaging the community. We got to be out. We got to be intentional.
Yeah.
And anytime you get an opportunity to discuss a community concern, let's talk about it.
Right.
Because us not talking about it is what got us in this situation. I think we came from time period we had designated Sunday dinners, we had family time, we
Opportunities
had
to talk
family
about
reunions,
it.
we
Yeah.
had different things.
Yeah.
But now with social media, with everybody being busy, people
Yeah.
having to work 1 or 2 jobs, with the inflation was going up, people working so much, doing so much stuff, it took away that family setting. And even if it wasn't your blood family, you would have people that you could talk to.
Right, in the community.
Or your own family that you built.
That's
you
right.
can talk to.
Yeah.
It's just not available
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah, that's a heavy statement you
For
say,
sure.
brother. Like we gotta stop surviving and get to living.
For sure.
Malcolm X made a statement one time, and he said that black people aren't stupid. We're just too busy trying to survive to think about anything else.
For sure.
And you know as well as I do, because we've had these kind of conversations before. To be black in America is different than anything else. We've been trying to survive since they kidnapped us and brought us here.
True.
Right? From
True.
then to now, we even had a brief conversation before we got started this morning about Project 2025, because they want to take us back. So how do we do that, brother? Whereby we've always been merely trying to survive in this space behind enemy lines. But you are correct. We gotta stop surviving and get to living. But how do you do that when you're behind enemy lines?
Very careful.
Yeah.
And cautious.
Strategically.
Yeah, for sure. Most definitely careful and cautious. And I'm saying that because we got to understand the system. We got to understand what the system did to us.
Yeah.
We got to understand that this is not something that just happened right now. This is generations of implementation that brought us here.
Yeah.
So the work that we are doing right now, especially myself and you, some of the results of the work that we're doing right now, we're not going to see.
That's right.
So we got to be okay with
Yeah.
doing work that's for the next generation.
Right.
and making sure that we train those people that's going to come behind us to continue to do
the same thing.
for the
Yeah,
following
we
generation.
gotta be able to give them a baton that they can run with.
For sure, most definitely.
That sounds good. It makes all the sense in the world. But with our younger generation, where they are, or even older people, or older black people, they want results now. As a matter of fact, I run across people who they don't want to be in this fight, in this war to make things better, because they're not going to see the fruits of their labor as it relates to what they want in their lifetime. So how do we get our people to understand that, you can have mental health successes in the short term, but this is a long-term thing because we've been traumatized for so long,
For sure.
and the trauma hasn't stopped. These people, they don't stop. They do what they do. So how do we get our people to understand that this is important? It makes you better. Some of it is a sprint, but most of it is a marathon. How do we do that, especially with the youth?
I think we got to look at our parameters, and especially with our youth, they have access to information.
Yeah.
They have the internet. They have way more access than we had, and they don't have to go to the library to get it.
Right.
So we have to be able to take the information that we're sharing amongst ourselves as the older generation, and we have to make it palatable for the younger generation, which means accessibility, which means engagement. Sometimes it has to be entertaining to get them out, to get to the information.
Okay.
They have to be able to strategically place things in their face that they need, even though they don't know they need it.
Give me an example of how that looks.
So right now we have a heavy influence on music.
Okay.
With music in the city. So even small engagement events like one of the events that I work with is called the Peace Pop-Up, hosted by one of my brothers, Damien Walker. And what he does is he goes to different communities and he just has a community engagement event, bring people out, bring out, young up and coming artists, bring out vendors who care about the community, and bring out people who have resources that community might need.
Yeah.
But he uses the Peace Pop-Up and the music and the entertainment side of it as an attention grabber.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
So that the people can come to the resources that they need.
Okay.
So we need more people doing similar things like that.
Okay.
And that's something that we need. We need engagement.
Yeah, 100%.
So whether you're using engagement, whether you're using literacy, a lot of people in these communities are hungry. So let's go create a breakfast.
Yeah.
Let's go feed the people.
Okay.
While we feeding them, while we giving them something that they need, let's give them something that they can use.
How does that look? That's the part that I want to get to, because I see what you're saying and I love it. And we most certainly gonna talk about this after this morning. But we draw the people out, however we draw them out, food, music, whatever. And then when we have their attention, how do we then engage with the mental health piece?
So I think that having like smaller breakout groups, because some people
at the event.
Yeah, at the event.
Okay.
Because mental health happens wherever you are.
Oh, amen.
It's not a clinical thing. It's
That's
not.
right.
It only happens at the hospital thing.
Right.
It happens on your front porch.
Right.
It happens in the backyard.
It happens when you make it happen.
It happens at the stop sign.
Okay.
So we have to be.
Happens in relationships.
It happens in relationships. We have to be aware of that. And mental health can happen at any time.
Okay.
So we have to be aware and be able to deal with it when it takes place.
Okay.
So if something happens right out here today, and somebody having a crisis, I'm trained. I'm gonna go outside.
Right.
I'm not gonna be scared. I'm not gonna cut on my video camera and
Okay.
record it. I'm not trying to get no
Yeah.
likes. I'm not trying to get no views.
That's right.
I'm going to deal with it because I'm aware and I'm equipped.
Right.
We need more people aware and equipped to go and deal with mental health.
Okay. So we have these breakout sessions, and I'm assuming, because of my ignorance, that breakout session, I'm assuming it's simply a conversation about how you're doing.
It's topics.
Yeah.
We take topics.
Oh, okay.
And we let different groups have different topics. So
Okay.
let's talk about it. Then let's rotate.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's easy.
How often does your boy do that?
Right now, I think he's doing like every other month or every quarter.
Okay.
But we need more.
We need to ramp that up.
Yeah.
Big time.
Because there's so many communities out here that need the
Yeah,
services.
and they'll probably be open to it.
One person or one organization can't do it all.
Right. And that's something else that we have to realize, Brother C. No one organization can do any of this stuff solo. We have to find a way as much as possible to work with those who are willing to be worked with.
For sure.
Because everybody has something to offer, and we have to give them an opportunity to offer it. But if you don't ask and make that opportunity available, then of course it's never going to happen. And we got to be intentional.
For sure.
Because of course, again, like we were talking about this morning, other people are intentional about what they want to do, but what they want to do is harmful to us. So we got to be intentional, making sure that we are doing what we can do to help our people.
Most definitely.
And I'm glad you said what you said about crisis, because brother, that's my next question. How do you identify and help someone who's in crisis? How do you identify it, and then how do you go about helping them if you're not a professional?
Well, I'm gonna say this: if you're not a professional, you're gonna look at it from a viewpoint of what society sees. Right?
Yeah.
You're not gonna even realize there's a crisis taking place. You're gonna say, oh, another homeless person, another dope fiend, another whoever.
You might be toying with your camera.
You're gonna be part of the problem.
Yeah.
When in actuality, being trained to see it and recognize it, it gives you a keen insight on when to move.
Okay.
So being trained is the big thing on being able to deal with crisis.
Okay.
And I'm saying that because it doesn't have to be all formal. Like I have formal training, but informal training can be just as good as formal training.
Okay.
Because this room right here could be full.
Yeah.
And everybody in here could get trained on how to recognize a crisis.
Okay.
And if you recognize a crisis, even if you don't want to go and address it, if you have the right numbers to communicate with on who
You
can
call
address
somebody,
it,
right?
you still are assisting.
Right. So how does that look? How does someone being in crisis, how does that look so we can identify it? As we get
Being
the
a crisis could look different. You can have, somebody out here in the median turning flips, throwing stuff at cars, walking in the median naked. We've seen it many times in Houston.
The obvious stuff, right?
It could be drug induced, it could be stress induced, it could be, a lot of different commonalities that could make that take place.
Yeah.
But when we see it, we have to be able to get to the right people. And my thing is, you got groups out there like Heart, you got groups out there like MCOT that you can call. You have the mental health police that you can call that can come out and they're trained to deal with these situations versus calling just 911.
Right.
Who's going to come out and aggressively.
Yeah, from the position of a police officer.
Exactly.
And see that's another good point, because most people, because it was badly marketed, most people misunderstood the defund the police campaign. No one is saying we don't need police. That's ridiculous. But some of the money that goes to the police to serve and protect our law and order, depending on what you look like, some of that money needs to go to health professionals, where if someone is in crisis, if the police are called, they're called second or third, and then the mental health police show up first.
Right.
Because it's obvious that the person is going through a mental health crisis, and you don't want them treated like a criminal by people who are trained to see them,
No, we got to address this part right here. And I've never heard anybody address this part, but I'm gonna say it.
Come on.
So, we have things where we get traumatized.
Okay.
As individuals in communities, because we see stuff so much. We go through, shootings in the communities, rapists in the community, all these things that we're aware of in our communities, and it makes us, sometimes we numb to it.
Okay.
Or it's just something that's happening. Desensitized
Yes, sir.
to it, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, the police are seeing these things on a more rapid pace than we are. So do you not think that they traumatized?
Yeah.
Are they not humans?
Yeah.
Have they not seen enough shootings?
That's a good point.
Police getting killed?
Good point. Yeah.
Have they not witnessed enough stuff?
And they might need counseling as well. Yeah.
They're humans.
And they got a gun.
They're humans.
Yeah, they're humans.
So you're talking about a person who sees this, you might as well look at them like, military.
Yeah.
Military PTSD.
Sure.
So police not PTSD.
Amen. And it's real.
So my thing is, if you're not getting them those services, or they're not getting those workshops and those trainings while they're going out day to day in this field,
that's right.
You're giving them a lack of service.
That's right. Yeah.
So let's talk about addressing our police as human officers too, as human beings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a valid point, man. And you're right. I'm not sure if I've ever heard that, and if I have, I can't remember when, which is a sad testimony. But why is that something that we rarely hear? Looking at, and I understand for black people, we look at police a certain way, and that's understandable. I get that. However, we have to understand that not every police officer is racist, not every police officer is bad.
Sure.
But we also have to understand, like you just said, they're human.
They're human.
So why do you think our police officers aren't given that training more often? Is because somebody's not seeing the importance of it, I guess?
Well, let's say this. First of all, we're understaffed.
Okay.
Understaffed. So when you understaffed, that means I don't have enough people for my communities to have people in the field as officers.
I'm already short.
And have people in training.
Right. Money.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. So If I got 100 officers in training today, that's 100 officers that's not on the
It's
street.
not on the streets, right?
Right?
Yeah.
So we don't even have the leeway
Yeah.
to do that in a city like Houston.
Wow.
Right? So you're talking about training that these officers would have to do possibly on their own time. Hopefully they can get paid for it because it's very important.
Yeah, but even brother, see, for them to do it in their own time, they would have to recognize that they need it.
Right.
And I don't know how normal it is for you to recognize I need mental health training.
What is the thing? When you're a kid, you might not recognize that you need certain things, but your parent is there to guide you.
Right.
So you got a chief of police, so we got people that run the police department.
Yeah.
If I can get you to understand that it's needed, pass it on down. They got to follow orders.
Yeah.
So when you see something that's needed, put it in place so it can happen. This is not a disrespect to any police officer, sheriff, police, anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just saying that, hey, I recognize y'all need help too.
Right.
And if more officers could work with trained crisis intervention people in the street, outside of MCOT, outside of violence intervention, those are great groups, but we still limited to the people that we can reach because more people are not aware.
So, I'm sorry, you have anything?
Yeah, I was gonna say, so, do you have a business card that have those agencies on there? So,
I don't have a business card, but I
like,
can.
do you guys, like, I think all those agencies to be listed like on one card?
I don't think it's a place where it is, but we can do that. We can
That
definitely
sounds like something we
create.
should
We definitely
create.
can create.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
what
For sure.
That's a good idea.
Most definitely.
That idea is a good idea. That's mine.
Most definitely.
I think I just came with a good idea.
For sure. I think we should take that.
So given what Sister Yvonne just said, because my next question was going to be, and that might be part of the answer, if we know that the police department, you know, if they don't have enough people, they're not thinking about it, we hadn't had enough meetings with the chiefs, are there enough healthcare professionals out here in this big city that can be more useful if the community said, okay, you guys are good with the mental health, you're the police, as a community, we got to talk and have a meeting. Are there enough mental health professionals to help this mental health crisis that we're going through?
I would say yes.
Okay.
Now, and it's you would have to piece it together.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
And this is why. We have a great mental health system here, formerly MHMRA, which is now the Harris Center for Mental Health and IDD.
Okay.
They do a lot of great community partnerships.
Okay.
Where they go out, vend, they hit communities, they go into schools.
You said vend?
Vend.
What is that? Oh, vend.
Yeah, so
Okay, I got
vend.
that. Yeah.
So they'll go out and present information.
Okay.
They go into schools. They even do trainings for free if you got the right amount of people.
Right.
So if you got an organization with 50 people in it and y'all want to get trained in mental health, call them. Set up an appointment.
Yes, sir.
They'll come out and train y'all for free.
That's awesome.
You know what I'm saying? It's just it's a thing.
Yeah.
Right? So if you don't want to go that route, you have plenty of LPCs, family practitioners, and different types of counselors here that have their own independent practices.
Right.
So if you don't want to get help from the Harris Center,
Sure.
go get a
somewhere else.
therapist.
Yeah.
Go let somebody give you a real workshop in how to deal with your mental health.
Yeah.
Go get crisis intervention training. It's on. You can get it online.
Right.
You don't even gotta go nowhere.
Right.
You can get an online training.
Then you can also bring in like a group of interns.
For sure.
There you go.
Matter of fact, let me tell you, they have a thing called mental health first aid.
Okay.
So if you're a first aid person, like you can administer CPR, go get your first aid in mental health. It teaches you crisis intervention.
Wow. You know, okay,
and it's free.
You know, something I've learned, Brother Chancellor, with doing Thursday morning breakfast is that, you know, as I say, there's a lot of good going on in the city,
For sure.
but people don't know about it.
For sure.
So it sounds to me, brother, that you know, completely eliminating it is another bullet point. But it sounds like, as a community, we could be much more impactful if we were intentional about touching base with those persons who this is what they do.
For sure.
So if you know, like when you were talking about, you know, a meeting of 50 people, it sounds like we/I/me need to make a concerted effort to ensure that we're touching base with our civic clubs and super neighborhoods
For sure.
to bring in people to speak about these issues, because the resources, per what you're saying, they exist.
They exist.
You know, and I don't know of any other group that's been traumatized more than us, that's ongoing,
For sure.
we got to find a way to touch and connect and make sure those services are available so we can have more mental health first aid professionals in the community and understand that that's a crisis.
For sure.
And I need to call somebody as opposed to
And my thing is,
I like that.
we don't have to search for people. We can go where they are.
Yeah.
People at church, I'm going to church.
Yeah.
Look past it. I know y'all have a church and whatnot, but I need you to have a certain number of your members crisis intervention training.
Beautiful.
Why? Because y'all in this community.
Yeah.
This community need help.
Yeah.
So if your people are trained in crisis intervention, then y'all can go out and successfully service this community.
Right. And which is what you.
And guess what? We got a church on every corner in the hood.
Yeah.
Right? So if and I'm not saying you got to get a bunch, but if every church, just imagine if every church had 10 or 15 people crisis intervention trained.
See, I was thinking 5.
Yeah.
10. Yeah, because if we got 1 or 2 on every corner, before you get to the corner, you're gonna come across 2 or 3 more.
Exactly. And my thing is, with us having multiple churches and things like that in our communities, it should be a easy thing to do.
Why do you think that has not been done? Because you said a few things, brother, that to me, I'm like, man, that's common sense.
Right.
That's a good idea. Why do you think that has not happened yet? Other than Yvonne just not getting out there.
Just to be honest.
Be honest, brother. Don't lie to me. I'm sensitive.
Mental health problems is big business.
Oh, okay.
So if I give you all the help that you need, I don't continue to make money on it. And I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Yeah. But wouldn't that be more of a reason why we should go through the churches since
and I'm gonna say this, and I don't want to offend nobody because I think some churches out here doing some great things.
There are some.
As a whole,
but on the other hand,
yeah, we definitely not doing as a whole what we could be doing.
Right.
Even if everybody just gave a little bit,
yeah,
we could do a lot.
Yeah, I like to say if everybody give a little bit, we got a lot of it.
For sure.
And we can do a lot with a lot of it. Yes, sir.
I think sometimes people distract themselves and say, "Oh, we're gonna do this, and this," and you really just spreading yourself thin.
Right.
Just focus on one thing.
Right.
Let the next church in your community focus on something different.
That's right.
The church around the corner, let them focus on something different.
Yeah.
The church down the street, let them focus on something different. Together, y'all got a collective thing that y'all doing for them.
Yeah, and as you said this morning before we got started, stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
Yeah, you pick a lane.
That's it.
Pick whatever lane you want, and we're gonna train you in that lane.
If you like to talk, if you like to talk to people, go get trained so you can talk to people for a living. Go talk to people about what really matters.
Yeah.
If you like to deal with kids, go get trained on how to deal with kids.
Hey man, this what you're saying, brother, is another testament to what I always say, which I believe. Everything black people need, black people have. But black people don't love because black people don't talk to each other.
I'm just gonna be realistic. We have to offer things outside of the traditional daytime services.
Right.
Because mental health happens at night.
24/7.
Mental health could happen at 1 or 2 in the morning.
Right.
But most people can't get the training because guess what? They're working.
They're working, right.
And when they get out work at 4 or 5 o'clock and go through an hour worth of traffic to get home, nobody wants to do anything.
That's right. Eat and go to sleep.
But guess what?
Yeah.
In 1 hour, in 2 hours, you can get suicide training. You can get crisis intervention overviews.
Yeah.
You can get some type of information that you can start building on.
Yeah.
You don't have to get it all at once.
Okay.
Get a little bit here. Get your hour training here.
Yes, sir.
Get your 30-minute training there.
Yeah.
Go on the Health and Human Services website. They got trainers on there for free. Just create an account. Get trained in cognitive behavior. Get trained in mental health services. Get trained in. It's a video.
Yeah.
That's gonna give you insight.
Yeah, that you can watch at your leisure. Yeah. You just gotta want to watch.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's another good statement to my next question. So the title of today's presentation talk, is Erasing the Stigma of Mental Health in the Black Community and Violence Prevention via Family and Community Support. So I think I know the answer to this because we've been talking about it, but that violence is due to a person not having the proper mental health toolkit, if you will, so that they're not violent. Would that be a good way of saying it?
So let me say this: that violence is a response to not having mental health services and not having the proper resources.
Okay.
So not just mental health, but we need resources.
Okay.
So yes, we can be trained in mental health, but when we go out there and we see a family that's in need, this father needs a job, that mother needs a job, that auntie lost her job, we got to find them jobs.
Yeah.
We got to get them something to do where they'll have a reason not to want to be stressed out and smoking that pipe all day.
Right. So that goes to the preventative part of the
Yeah,
system.
for sure.
Yeah.
We have to get proactive instead of reactive.
Reactive, right.
They're making a lot of money off of reactive.
Of reactive, right.
And
Yeah.
proactive will save a lot of us.
Yeah.
Which means, hey, before I know I need it, or before I know I have a problem, I'm trained to deal with the problem.
Right, right. And see, and we as a community, we got to understand, as you said earlier, that the is big business. The care is big business.
For sure.
So it's like there are things that a health professional could give you. Hey, good morning. That's the other one, City Mom. City Event. Sorry. There are things that the mental health, that the health care system could give you to make you better and or whole, but the money is in the medication.
Back, exactly.
Yeah, so they don't necessarily want you to be healthy and or whole because there's money in keeping you coming back for the medication and counseling. So as a community, we got to understand, like you said, you got to understand the game in the system. Because if you don't, you of course get caught up in it.
Now, you got to understand this, from being on the inside of it, people have careers in mental health. And I mean, the workers have careers,
Yeah.
but the clients
Yeah.
have careers in mental health.
Okay.
And one of the biggest mental health facilities that we have here in the city is the jail. Believe it or not.
They get mental health?
What?
Here,
They're
yeah.
the biggest mental health facility in the city.
It's a facility, but do they get care?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They do.
Okay.
They get hospitalization inside that jail.
Yeah.
Medication inside that jail.
That's definitely
Diagnosis
big
inside that jail.
That's definitely big business.
Big
Wow.
business.
Yeah. Okay. So this might sound like a dumb question to several people, but I know this thing comes in many forms. What constitutes violence in a family setting? Other than the physical, which we know about.
Well, violence is, like I say, it comes in a number of different ways.
Okay.
And I think most of the time violence comes through misunderstanding.
Okay.
And I say that because when a person has a misunderstanding and they don't have the tools to get to a better understanding,
Right.
then they have to act out.
Yeah.
Or there's some type of negative action that's going to follow that when you don't have a way to come to an understanding of frequency with yourself
Yeah.
that you can deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Misunderstanding creates a lot of violence.
So would you say that's I can think of a better way to say it. I'm going to say emotional or spiritual maturity. A lot of people just aren't there
True.
emotionally and spiritually to deal with that thing. And if you don't recognize what that thing is, if you haven't been exposed or trained properly for yourself
For sure.
and what that thing is, then like you said, you're gonna act out.
A lot of people fall. They have failures, and they just don't know how to get back up.
Right.
And because I don't know how to get back up, I'm gonna bring everybody down with me.
Right. Yeah. Like this black guy in Shreveport a few weeks ago that killed 8 or 9 kids and was trying to kill the mamas and.
Sad.
Yeah. That reality is something else. So I often also say that everything we need, we have, and the solution to it is community.
Most definitely.
And everything you said goes back to if we had a stronger community to not only identify things but to help people when we knew that they needed help. You're younger than the 3 of us, but I guarantee you. And I've never had this conversation with them, but I guarantee you, they grew up in the same kind of environment that I grew up in, where you could go to your neighbor and ask them for stuff,
Oh, yeah.
and vice versa. And I remember getting in trouble in school and being spanked by the neighbor.
Yeah.
She walking me to my mama,
Yeah.
who spanked me and said, "Where did your daddy get home?"
For sure. You're going to get another one.
And you're going to another one.
That's called reinforcement.
And it happens.
Yeah, real
right?
talk.
But we
It's
don't
called
have those
reinforcement.
kinds of
Yeah.
communities. See, that's why that means that
Yeah.
she can identify,
She understood.
right?
I can identify.
But we don't have those kinds of communal structures anymore. But we need them.
Right.
So, and that's one of the reasons why I absolutely love the idea that you shared with a brother of yours who does a pop-up.
Yeah.
And people come out and you have a chance to talk to them because, again, we have to be intentional about getting our people the services that we need. Because, again, the people who have another agenda, that trauma don't stop.
Most definitely.
Because they have a plan that they're trying to implement, and they've been trying to implement since we've been here.
Most definitely.
So if we don't understand, like you said, understand the system, understand the game, and then, as they make their chess move, then we make our chess move, then we always gonna be, always gonna lose because we're not playing the game properly.
For sure.
Okay. All right. So my next question is, give me a second to get back to it. Okay. So I know we talked about this when we had the conversation about you coming out, and you talked about in one of our conversations the importance of a wraparound approach. So tell us what is the wraparound approach and how does that work to not only stem violence but to help with overall mental health for a family and our community.
So prior to, well, I can say prior, along my work, I did a lot of work with the violence prevention team at the Harris County Public Health Department.
Okay.
It gave me a lot of insight on some of the work that we were doing in the community and gave me a little bit more of a systematic approach to how we can do things as far as having outreach.
Okay.
Also coupled with advocacy and resources.
Okay.
So let's just, for a scenario, let's say Joe Blow is gonna rob a convenience store.
Mm-hmm.
All they see is a man coming in trying to rob a convenience store. They don't see you got a wife at home,
Right.
3 kids at home, and they
Let's
home.
see the backstory.
They don't see that part, right?
Right.
So when we deal with a situation where violence is taking place,
Mm-hmm.
it's our job as violence interventionists to look at that backstory,
Yeah.
see what's going on, not excuse the action,
Right.
but to understand what caused the action.
Mhm. Yeah,
Right?
why-
So if you can
why it's
understand what caused
happening,
the action,
Yeah.
you can prevent it.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know what caused it, it's going to keep happening.
Right.
So if he just robbing because he liked to rob,
Mm-hmm.
that's a whole different approach than somebody who's trying to feed their family.
That's right.
Because if I can give him a way to feed his family, he ain't gonna rob
He
me.
ain't gonna rob, right? Because chances are, if he's just trying to feed his family, he don't want to rob.
Right, he don't want to.
Yeah, but he's trying to take care of his kids,
For
and his
sure.
family. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay.
And you know, situations where, you know, people have had domestic situations. I've lost a few friends to domestic violence.
Mm.
And I wish at the time that they would have known to call me or somebody would have mediated that situation.
Yeah.
To where somebody didn't have to lose their life.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens if you can't get the person to reach out to you?
If they can't reach out to me, reach out to somebody.
You know what I mean? But if you can't get through to them to make a phone call.
To like a person that can help.
Like maybe they don't, either they don't know they need help, or they know they need help, but they don't want help right now because they think that they're good, or that's the way they're saying something is normal and it's not normal.
Then I'm in that situation. If they don't know, I'm hoping that somebody in that community or somebody that sees or witnesses it has that ability or has that awareness to be able to reach out for them or to refer them or to have somebody come out and check on them. I mean, that's why we have to have more people that's aware, because the more people that are aware, if you see something, say something.
Mm-hmm. Community.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's all for us.
Yeah.
If we don't do it, nobody gonna come save us.
So is that wraparound approach, is that, you know, the community coming together and or family and or friends to, you know, wrap your arms around this person and help them get what they need?
The wraparound approach is something that we used to utilize in schools. Like
Okay.
when they kind of dismantled the wraparound programs for the Sunrise Center.
Okay.
But the approach is the same. It's like there are a lot of different factors and variations of what's causing these issues, like job placement, like lack of education, lack of professional training,
Okay.
lack of confidence in self,
Yeah.
lack of knowledge of self, lack of understanding what a community really is. Because some of y'all didn't come up in the community.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
with people in the community who was locked up 25 years.
Yep.
They just coming back home since the 90s.
Right.
So how you gonna reacclimate?
And they gotta
them
eat.
to- How you gonna reacclimate them to
Yeah.
the system when they've been animals,
Right.
or they've been locked up as animals
Yeah.
for all this time, and
Yeah.
nobody retrained them to be in the community.
Right.
And I'm saying that about those people who have been incarcerated. We got people who was never incarcerated physically,
Mm-hmm. Cause they
they were incarcerated here.
Yeah.
So we don't have a way to free them and give them the resources they need once they become free.
Yeah.
We're gonna repeat the same cycle.
So I'm going to assume yes, but I'm also going to assume that it's not much. If it is a yes, are there resources available for persons getting out of prison and they're now back in the community to help them
Yes.
reacclimate?
Yes, we have a number of reentry programs.
Reentry.
The city of Houston has reentry programs. The Harris County Public Health Department has reentry programs. Some community-based organizations offer reentry programs for our people coming back from the system.
Okay.
We also have peer support that's going on inside the system,
Okay.
trying to get them prepared to come home.
Right.
So
Okay.
the preparation for
Okay.
being back in your community starts while you're still inside.
Yeah.
When you know you got a few years left, and you need to get into as many programs as you can
Yeah.
inside to get you prepared for outside. When you come
Right.
outside, there are more programs for you to get involved with reentry mentorship. We got a lot of brothers out here that started at the Brotherhood Breakfast a few years back.
Mhm.
Most of them were felons, but these brothers are truck drivers,
Okay.
business owners,
Okay.
company owners. They started their own thing during the pandemic.
Right.
These brothers are thriving and being successful because they had the right network of people around them when they got out to be
Yeah.
successful.
Yeah.
If you don't, people gonna go with what they used to.
So, and what you we'll talk about that last in the first place. So, correct me if I'm wrong, brother, but I'm hearing you say, and correct me if I'm wrong, that the answer, the services, the solutions are out there. They're just not properly being connected to and utilized. That's what I'm hearing you say.
Sure.
So that's
Justice
correct.
reform is live in effect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Inside and outside.
Okay. All right. So, how does someone either work with you to make things better or become a you and do what you do? How do we make that solution real for people?
So the solution becomes real. If you want to be in a reentry program, Google it.
Okay.
You got reentry that you can get involved with. They're gonna give you a number, somebody you can reach out to. You can always reach out to me. My number's available to you. I'm sure somebody can share my information.
I got it.
But my thing is, you can reach out to me, and if you don't know nobody but me, I can point you in the right direction.
Right. Right.
For sure.
Okay.
And I'm gonna point you in the right direction of something that's gonna go on in your area, whatever side of town you're on. If it don't exist in your section, we'll create it.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Any more questions? Everybody good? Okay. So, brother, anything you want to say in closing?
I just want to thank you for the opportunity to be here. I love to share information and resources. As a mental health advocate and specialist, my interest in working with the kids.
Yeah.
But in working with the kids, we got to work with the adults as well.
That's right.
And if we can all be better individuals and find one thing to improve on every day,
That's right.
we can improve our communities.
Yeah. Amen. I forgot something.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, I was just thinking about the man a few weeks ago that we heard about, in River Oaks, that killed his wife.
Mm-hmm.
I think they had about 4 children, or however many that they had. He took out the whole family. He's a successful, quote unquote, businessman.
Mm-hmm.
He's living in the best side of Houston that anybody can imagine. What do you say about that?
I'm gonna say what Biggie said: more money, more problems. And I'm saying it because just because of his financial situation
Right.
does not exempt him from the stresses of mental health,
Yeah.
the stresses of family,
Yeah.
and the stresses of not having the proper support.
Because they don't discriminate.
It don't discriminate. Like I said, when I worked in mental health, I saw everybody in there from homeless people to the richest people. And when it breaks, it breaks.
When you snap, you snap.
When it's over, it's over. So he should have been privy to the same information that's probably not circulating in his community because they got money.
Wow. So it's stigma there too.
Yeah,
Yeah. Wow.
most definitely.
Okay.
And I was just gonna say, and they even talk to people.
Right.
When we talk to people, that becomes a big
If
For
you're
sure.
really talking to people,
For
right?
sure.
really talk.
Right.
You have to have people that you trust, and you have to have somebody that you're willing to be vulnerable with, and hopefully that person that you're vulnerable with has. If they don't have the answers, they know who to refer you to.
Right. And they go-
That's why I say more people need
Yep.
to be trained.
Yeah.
More people need to have an understanding of
Yeah.
what's going on and what's available to us, so that we can be an asset to our communities.
Yeah.
You don't have to be the one out there preaching. You don't got to be the Malcolms, the Martins, or whatever.
That's right.
But if you can refer one person, you might say their life.
Right.
You might say their kid's life. You might say the neighbor life.
That's right.
So if you can help one person, or if you can get the information or enough resources within yourself, or enough crisis intervention training within yourself to be able to help that one person who might need it,
Yeah.
that one person might help one person.
And
That one person might help another person.
And that's a good point. And something else I always say is at the end of my presentations, events, or whatever, I like to say 2 things. And one of them is no one can do everything, but if everyone does something, everything will get done. So it's about what you just said. You know, you might not be the one to go out and speak. You might not be the one to organize, but you can do something
For sure.
to ensure that if you identify someone who's in crisis, or if you know somebody's having a hard time, You can refer to them, you can go talk to them, there's something you can do. And I'll take it a step further and say that if you don't do that, that crisis might come visit you. You might not like how it looks.
For sure.
So we have to understand that, I won't necessarily say it's a responsibility and or a duty, but it's in your best interest. If you know somebody is going through something in your community space, it's in your best interest to help them because you never know
how it's going to manifest.
You never know how it's going to manifest. And if it's an adult with a family, you could be putting that family in a much safer, better position because you help this person who is the head of that family or, whatever the case may be. Yeah.
I can't tell you how many situations I've been in where you recognize something, and it don't have to be nothing major. You might just see a person that's normally happy,
Yeah.
and they might be sulking that day.
Who's not? Yeah.
It's recognition. When you recognize it, just you going to have that conversation,
Yeah.
they might have been thinking about going outside, blow their brains out.
Yep. Okay. Last question. I'm sorry.
No problem.
Okay. Yeah. Last question I forgot. So you know that I've been myself and my team have been dealing with this HISD sexual predator thing for a minute, right? So if we know that a child and or children may have been affected by someone preying on them sexually, what can we do as a community to help that child who might have been, assaulted in a bad way? How do we get them to talk to us about what they're going through, because that trauma is real and they might not be open to talking about it at all? How do we do that?
When it comes to predators and children being abused, I'm a strong advocate against any type of preying on our children in our community.
Yeah.
At the same time, this preying on our kids been going on for a long time.
Too long.
Generations I've seen, from grandmothers to mothers to daughters to granddaughters,
Yes, sir.
who've all experienced the same
Yep.
trauma, right?
Yep.
As sick as it sounds, I've seen some situations where it's even seemingly like it's allowed to happen because you went through it.
Right.
When we get to the point where we realize, hey, just because grandma didn't say nothing,
Yeah.
when you went through it, you can still have a voice and stop somebody else from going through it.
Right.
We don't got to keep sharing generational
Trauma.
trauma.
Yeah. Keep passing it down.
We don't have to keep doing it. Even with it's going on for boys and girls.
Sure.
And I'm saying that because a lot of boys, a lot of young men, and I'm saying this heavily, they don't know they were sexually assaulted. They look at it as a rites of passage. As a young man.
I'm about to say, explain it. Okay.
Young men,
Okay.
they look at things as a rites of passage.
Yeah.
That lady who was supposed to be babysitting you, she
Yeah.
was supposed to be touching you.
Right.
That woman who you trusted, that older lady, she wasn't supposed to do that to you. So even our young men,
Yeah.
they coming up in trauma and they look
Don't
at
even-
it, they don't understand.
And it goes back to what you said earlier, talking to people.
For sure.
Because if you're having, and this is one of my biggest things with this whole HIV thing is no one took time because they didn't care to notify the parents and the guardians. They didn't do that, and nobody talked to the kids. No one ever said, that a predator has been removed and or on a list, whatever. We need to talk to you guys to find out were you affected. So when you don't do that, as far as I'm concerned, you're complicit and you're enabling the activity. So from what I'm hearing you say, it starts with, like everything else you said, brother, is that it starts with a conversation with the kids to let them know some things are not normal and some things are not okay.
Yeah, most definitely. Some things it needs to be more of the norm at school,
Right.
or at church,
Yeah.
or in the community, because a lot of these kids are going through these same predator things at home. They're being preyed on by the old adult niggas in the community.
Yeah.
They're being preyed on by the church members.
Yeah.
They're being preyed on by, so.
Yeah.
And I was just gonna say, I think that people parents are starting really small to say,
For
don't
sure.
let anybody touch you.
For sure.
I don't know.
Right.
I
Yeah.
think that's
Most definitely.
like your mama, your dad, your aunt, like nobody should touch you there.
Right.
That's right. So that way they're taught that they handle their own private parts, whether they clean themselves or whatever. But that's just my two cents.
Most
That's
definitely.
three things. Okay, that's three things.
People definitely have to be taught this, and at the end of the day, grooming is a real thing.
Yes, it is.
Most people are violated by somebody who they trust.
Yep.
So that means it's somebody who you probably ate with, somebody who's comfortable coming to your home. They don't have to knock when they come in.
Yeah.
This is somebody who your mama leave you with on a regular basis.
Your quote unquote uncle.
Yeah, somebody who always around. This is somebody who has a trust level with you that you feel comfortable. And the thing about it is, for all of us that come from community where we witnessed and seen this, when you see grooming happening, when you see that little girl sitting on that man's lap,
See something, say
and
something.
that ain't her daddy,
Yeah.
say something.
Yeah. 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 So
Say something.
And that saying something doesn't happen because of what we talked about initially, the stigma
For sure.
that comes along with it. You know, because a lot of people, and it's an amazing statement, man, but I can't do anything but accept it, because if you're saying it, it makes all the sense in the world. And you did say this, just because it's been passed down, and just because you know Amy, mama, granny went through it or whatever, it doesn't mean it's okay. And if somebody doesn't say something to ensure that the trauma stops, you know, with you who've been traumatized, as you said, it's going to continue.
For sure.
So we got to make sure we see something, say something, and probably more importantly, we got to get our people trained so that they know what they're seeing. And if you're uncomfortable saying something, here's this card that I'm going to create so you can call somebody.
Should call somebody.
Yeah, because I'm you know, not only do I know that people, especially when it comes to our communities, we enable this kind of activity because we look the other way and we don't want to deal with it.
For sure.
Somebody might be willing to call a number if they had access to that number to make sure that this person can come out and talk to this child or this family.
And I'm gonna say this, and this might sound a little bit off of professional. I'm gonna say this because as a father, as a community member, as a mental health advocate, as a violence prevention specialist, all these things, when we're in these places, in these spaces, we gotta look at another child that I didn't birth.
Yeah.
I gotta look at them like they my own.
Yeah, 100%.
If I wouldn't let my daughter
100%. Yeah.
go do this,
Yeah.
it's not that I can come in and change your parenting.
Yeah.
But if I see something that doesn't look right and doesn't feel right with me,
Yeah.
address it. I'd rather you say something than say nothing.
Right, and that's another reason why I'm disgusted with how, you know, I've gone to the school board twice. I've gone to the city of Houston, and I've been absolutely disgusted at the lack of anybody coming up to me saying, "This is awful. What can I do to help?" Nobody did that. But if it was their child, Brother Chancellor,
For sure.
you know, it'd be a different story.
Most
If it was their child, if it happened at their child's school, if it was their niece, if it was anybody that they knew that they were connected to, then the energy and the support would be different. But because we don't see every child, every black child is our child, we poo-poo it.
I think it's still part of being desensitized.
100%.
We see it so much,
Yeah.
we hear about it so much. Like I literally have to remind myself that for probably about a 10 to 15, maybe a 20-year period, every woman that I met that gone through some type of
Wow. Trauma.
molestation,
Yeah.
rape, some type of,
Yeah.
you know, it's like if you don't address that from the jump,
Yeah.
you won't realize that you're dealing with somebody who's been through a traumatic situation until
Yeah.
it pops out,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah. And they can snap.
exactly, anything can happen.
Man, why you think I'm saying it was just cereal?
Anything can
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah. And I learned through all this. I learned about what grooming was because I had no idea. But I also learned that 1 in 4 kids, man, have been sexually molested or traumatized in some way. 1 in 4.
And guess what? That's the numbers based off of who said something.
Yeah, who reported it?
So truth be told,
Yeah.
it's probably
Yeah, 1 in 2 or 3. Yeah, and I'm saying, Lord have mercy, if it's 1 in 4, and we're dealing with one particular high school, that's 200 kids, 200 plus kids, and that's just one high school we're talking about.
and I'm gonna say this: you talking about one high school, and I'm gonna tell you this: every school got that problem.
I'm sure.
High school,
Yeah.
middle school, sometimes even elementary school kids
Yeah.
are going through this. Why? Because even if it happened at home, when they come to that school, now they're a predator.
Right. And that's what pissed me off about the city of Houston when I went to talk to them, because they were trying to tell me it's, you know, that's an HISD issue. You need to call
No,
them.
it's communities.
Yeah, it's a community issue, but when you don't see yourself as being a member of the community,
Yeah.
when you don't see every black child being your child, then you have a hands-off, desensitized, separated approach, and that makes you a part of the problem because you enable that kind of activity.
For sure.
Yeah.
And it's you got to choose a side when it comes to
Amen.
being part of the problem.
Amen.
Or you're
Yeah.
part of the solution.
Yeah.
If you're not helping, you're harming.
You're harming, yeah, and that's why I started this. I'm kicking off this new campaign, and it's called Draw a Line and Pick a Side.
For sure.
Because you got to draw a line on what you're willing to support and not support, and you got to pick a side. You're going to be on the side of those that are doing harm to our children, or you're going to be on the side that says, I'm not going to tolerate it. I'm going to do every single thing I can to highlight it and bring it out so that we can deal with it. Because if you don't deal with it, it's going to continue.
We live in a world where people have found a way to benefit from people's trauma and pain.
Yep.
Even our own people.
Yep.
So a person will stay hush hush for their reputation.
Yeah.
They'll stay hush hush for a bill to get paid. They'll stay hush hush for a meal.
Yeah.
They'll stay hush hush to be in a certain status of people.
Yeah.
And all those things don't matter when it comes to care for a community.
Right.
So if it comes to care for a community and you really here to care about that community, you really want to see change in that community, get trained, get aware,
Yeah.
say something.
Yeah. And
It's your responsibility.
one particular council member said that she heard a rumor, but she gonna chase rumors. And I'm like, this is what happens when you hear a thing as a councilwoman. You one of the things that you're supposed to be doing is looking out for your constituents.
Well, you can't chase a rumor that's gonna come back to you.
It's gonna jeopardize you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Which means you don't really care about everybody. Yeah. Appreciate you, brother. Okay, so we're gonna wrap this thing up. So this is where am I? Okay, it's a delay. So this is why we do what we do for Thursday morning breakfast. We got some very serious issues taking place in our communities that we have to deal with. And of course, we want to tap into the other entities that can help us deal with it. But it starts with us. If we're not open to having these conversations with our friends, family members, neighbors, and then expanding out. I love that idea about the pop-up that your boy is doing because
Sure.
we're gonna have that conversation today.
Sure.
Because that's something that works, that's duplicatable,
Sure.
that all it takes is time and commitment. And if I don't have nothing else, I got time and commitment when it comes to my own people. And if we can make that idea, when we make that thing an ongoing thing, once a month is not enough.
For sure.
Hell, once a week is not enough, but that's a hell of a thing. If we can do that once a week in multiple spaces, brother, the impact we can have is tremendous. But everything starts with us being willing to do it.
Sure.
And as I said, no one can do everything, but if everyone does something, everything will get done. And you got to make sure that we're not expecting people to be Malcolm X or Martin Luther King or Fred Hampton or whatever.
Sure.
But behind all of these great brothers and sisters, there were members of the community that did things to make the community work.
Sure.
So this is why we do what we do. This is why we have Thursday morning breakfast, because we have to find the people like Brother Chancellor Roberson who are doing the work and who are willing to show other people how to do the work. Because you showing other people how to do the work, it makes your job easier.
Most definitely.
Because you got some allies.
Exactly.
So that's why we're here. Thank you guys for coming. We'll be here next Thursday. We're going to get this young lady here to come up and talk about growing some food because she has a community garden. So on that note, thank you guys very much. God bless, and we'll see y'all next week.
Appreciate you, brother.
All right. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it, and I learned a lot.
For sure.
Yeah. And for me, this thing is, how do I stop going lie? This thing is about learning and doing. Because if we're not learning and doing, then what are we doing? As Mr. Farrakhan said, we're wasting time as time moves on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we got to understand that other people have agendas,
Most definitely.
and they are not pro us.
Yeah, they put an agenda with no hesitation.
At all. Because they got a plan. They got a plan,
They
and
don't fear us.
at all. Well,
They know our strength is in our unity.
why would they?
Our strength is in our unity.
And that's why they're working hard to keep us disunified. Yeah, and that also